The desalination market in Saudi Arabia is an ever-increasing market because due to the very limited renewable resources of water, whether it's runoff coming from rain or recharged aquifer, desalination is practically one of the main source of domestic water for personal use in Saudi Arabia. The government does not have other choice but to desalinate seawater to provide the masses in its major cities with water. I'm sure you're aware that there are private operators in Saudi Arabia, but the bulk quantities are all still being designed and built by the government itself through its agency, SWIC. I personally believe the total market for desalination alone over the next 5 years in the range of 70 billion riyals. And this includes the new capacity to be installed in addition to maintaining and running existing facilities. Figures might be deceiving. You might hear 400 billion or 200 billion or 300, but really desalination is a very tough business, and it requires a lot of engineering. Even if you have resources, you have what we call technical capacity limitation and environmental impact study that you need to do. So it's not enough that you have the resources to build desalination. There are other factors that deter the uncontrolled expansion of desalination. So I believe taking into consideration several factors, which are environmental impact issues, engineering capabilities, the availability of first-class EPC contractors, and I put the overall desalination market in Saudi Arabia over the next 5 years at 70 billion riyals. When you go to wastewater treatment, it's a different ball game. Saudi Arabia still lag a lot in terms of treating all its wastewater streams, both industrial and municipal. The industrial waste streams are largely now being tackled and taken care of by a government agency called Mudon. Mudon is the agency that develop what we call the industrial parks. And in every industrial park they're developing, it's mandatory that they have their own wastewater treatment plants, whether it is industrial or municipal, plus their own source of treatment plant that for drinking and for irrigation. And add to it now, reuse is becoming very big, so it has to be taken care of. When you talk about the wastewater treatment, you have the wastewater treatment and you have the reuse quality. So you have to add to, when you think about the market size, you have to add now reuse factor it into the equation. And this is one side. I'm talking about the industrial part. The municipal side, the government through its multiple agencies, one of them is National Water Company and the Directorate of Water in different areas of Saudi Arabia, they have their own budget for wastewater treatment, wastewater networks. And if you look into it all, it's safe to say over the next 5 years, the volume will be between 35 to 45 billion riyals. So between desalination and wastewater, I will put the total market size over the next 5 years at about 110 billion riyals. This is our assessment, our company assessment, which might differ tremendously from other sources.